confit. What exactly is that? To make it simple to understand, it's basically food cooking fat. You could either use its own fat or some type of oil. This is centuries-old process of keeping food preserved. Since this is an old technique, I have actually never done it, and I'm curious to find out how it would taste in two beautiful porterhouse steaks. So let's do it. In order to make confit, the most important thing is the fat, or in this case, oil. You can literally use any type of oil for this, and I would recommend one that you really like. I'm hoping that it actually produces some type of unique flavor into the steak. Talking about oils, it is important to determine which one will be best. There are so many varieties out there that it's easy to get confused, but in the end, each oil is designated for its purpose. Here's an example. Canola oil. It's great for cooking, it has a high smoke point, and to me has a very unique flavor which I enjoy. And here we have grapeseed oil. As you can tell right on the label, it's high heat cooking, perfect for searing, saute, and baking. This might be one of my favorite oils to use when searing a steak on a cast iron. Another reason I like it so much is that it has a very neutral flavor. It almost tastes like nothing, so it's perfect for searing a steak. Talking about searing, here's another great oil. It also has a super high smoke point, and you can see right here on the label it says 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And I mean, we got many other types of oils that you can use. Vegetable oil, extra virgin oil. As you can see, you cannot cook with this one. It even tells you right here it's good for salads and marinades. Not for cooking, not for searing, not for basting it on the grill. No, just don't do it. There are many better options for that. Even the bottle itself says that 45 degrees Fahrenheit will get cloudy. One of the great things about extra virgin olive oil is that it has a wonderful taste. You just put a little bit of olive oil, some vinegar, a little bit of salt and freshly ground black pepper, mix it with a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and just use this with some bread and it is absolutely phenomenal. It's an easy, simple thing to do that tastes wonderful. Extra virgin olive oil has a very low smoke point. However, olive oil on the other hand has a higher smoke point, and if you do not exceed its smoke point, then it should be good. Usually the smoke point of olive oil is anywhere between 300 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 400. It all depends on the one that you're using, but since it has a wonderful flavor, that's the one I'm going to be using for today. Now I want my steaks to taste amazing, and the first thing I'm going to do is to flavor these oils. I'll be doing two of them to let you know which one is best. The first one is pretty straightforward. Got a bunch of garlic in the pan and filled it up with olive oil. Remember, the key is to keep it under low heat. You don't want to exceed 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're doing it on the pan, I definitely recommend using a thermometer. You want to keep it anywhere between 250 degrees all the way up to 300 max. And let it cook nice and slow for 1 hour. As it's cooked, you will notice that it will slowly start floating. That's a sign that the garlic is infusing into the oil, which will give you a wonderful taste. After the 1 hour was done, my first oil was ready. For the second one, I wanted to add a lot more flavor. And for that, I started up with some bacon. I just threw it in the pan until it was fully cooked. Usually a good sign that bacon is fully cooked is when it starts foaming up like this. As you can see, I cooked it all the way through. It's nice and crispy, and I've extracted all the fat which I'll be combining with the oil. And let's not forget that we're going to putting this back into the oil itself. For this one, I want to show you a different method of doing confit. So I threw everything into the bag, starting with the garlic, followed by the bacon, and to add even more flavor, a little bit of thyme. Fill the whole thing with olive oil and also the bacon fat. I mean, is there any possibility that this is not going to be amazing? I don't think so. The next thing to do is to vacuum seal it and get it ready for the water bath. I'm going to be cooking it at 185 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 hours. This will ensure that the wonderful flavor of garlic, bacon, and thyme will infuse into the oil. But once the 5 hour was up, it was ready. All there was left to do is to quickly take it out of the water bath, put it in a safe container, and I was ready for my steaks. Talking about that, I have these two prime grade Porterhouse steaks. As you can see, the marbling throughout the steaks already lets you know that this is going to be something special. If you are unfamiliar with the term Porterhouse, this is what you need to know. In one side you have the New York strip, and the other side the filet mignon. And to be a Porterhouse, it needs to be at least 3 inches thick. By me doing so many cooks with sous vide, it has taught me quite a few things. I know for a fact if you cook anything in fat, it dilutes the flavor, especially salt. So to make sure that does not happen with these beautiful steaks, I'm going to first dry brine them. And I know that's a fancy word, but what it really means is just to salt it and let the salt penetrate deeply into the meat. And if you have not tried dry brining, you should. It is one of the best things you can do for a steak. But after seasoning them well, all there's left to do is to put them on a cooling rack to make sure that we have air go all the way around. Now there's nothing else to do but let it sit on my refrigerator so that the osmosis process can continue. The very next day, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the darker meat is a sign that this worked perfectly. It's perfectly salted and ready to be cooked. Now there's no way that I can season this with freshly ground black pepper. Why? Because it would just completely fall off. Think about it, we're cooking it in oil, so it's just gonna basically wash it all off. But now that I have my oils ready, I also have my 2 beautiful steaks ready. I say it is enough talking and it is time to cook some beautiful steaks confit style. So let's do it. All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks. What do you think, Angel?
They're definitely beautiful.
Porterhouse steaks, man. You get 2 for the price of 1. You got the filet mignon, which is one of your favorites, and the New York strip, which is one of my favorites. With that being said, Angel, we have an experiment today. They should slightly be different a little bit, but I'm not quite sure what to expect. This is my very first time doing this type of cook. I've never cooked this way. I know you haven't seen it, but I'm excited to find out the taste. You ready for it? Go for it, buddy. You gonna go for the filet?
Of course.
Of
course.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh. I like this.
That is a wonderful, amazing, delicious. It's such a nice flavor, everybody.
I mean, I could taste some garlic. It
Garlic.
Like it has a little bit of garlic. I kind of like it. Makes you want to go more.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
But yeah, I definitely taste garlic. I can't taste too much of anything else, but I'm not complaining.
No, not at all. It is a wonderful flavor and it is extremely tender.
Yeah, I like that, man. It's good.
The filet is like butter. You know what I mean? You just take a bite on it and it's just basically dissolving because it was cooked for such a long
juicy
time.
as hell.
Let's try the New York strip and see if there's any difference.
All right.
It has a nice, wonderful fragrance, but the most important is the taste. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, that's just as tender. Super, super tender.
I like this one.
You like this one, huh?
Sometimes the experiments come to bite me in the you know what.
That was phenomenal, everybody. A nice, wonderful flavor. Nothing overpowering. And the secret of this method is to dry brine because I feel the salt all the way throughout the meat. Do you? It's nice and well balanced. If you don't do it that way, you would just wash it all off and you won't have that much flavor. Okay, let's go for the second one, see which one we prefer, yeah?
Let's do it. Well, that's tender, all right.
That's just butter.
This one still has garlic.
Yes.
You can still taste the garlic.
Yep.
But this one's a little more like herby.
Herby. Yes.
Yeah, it has a little bit more like maybe like a thyme or a rosemary, something like that.
That's right. It does have it. And it has a different kind of flavor, and you can tell. But I must say, it's not a strong flavor. You would have think that it's very, very powerful, the flavor, but it's not. It's just a nice, like a mild flavor. And
it's there. It's there. You get the flavor, but it's not like. It's more like
punch you in your face. It's a nice, gentle flavor. The thing with this method, everybody, is that it's very, very mild.
Yeah.
And
it's not a very strong, in-your-face flavor where like, I mean, I like strong in-your-face flavor.
Right.
But at the same time, if you can get it a little bit more tender, and you can get it a little bit more, you know, like juicy, hey, I'll give away a little bit flavor for that.
That's one thing that I'll tell you about this method right now. It is much tender than we ever had before.
On the grill, we don't get that tender.
Yeah. Nope.
We don't. But
the tenderness, everybody, is off the chain. I don't know if it was the oil or if it was just because it was cooked similar to sous vide, which is nice and soft and gentle because it took a while to cook this. Okay. You know, I cook in very low heat under the oil until it reaches temperature. Then we went ahead and we seared it off. So if it was the method or if it was the oil, but I can tell you one thing, it is tender, more tender than usual. You agree?
No, that's for sure. That's,
Yeah.
you ain't got to think about that one. That's for sure.
Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.